There's no turning back now. Game number 1 between Naniwa and Leenock is about to commence. Artosis, go ahead and explain to our viewers how many games Naniwa has to win versus Leenock.
Sure. Well, he did win the winner bracket final, so the first thing we're going to see is a best of 3. If Naniwa wins a best of 3 games, that's 2 out of the first 3 games, he wins the tournament. But if he doesn't and Leenock wins, we just take that score and inject that into a best of 7.
So again, just like Leenock overcame all this this hardship in this tournament in the last match we saw, he's going to have to do it all over again. Naniwa with a little bit of an easier ticket. Let me go ahead and introduce the players. In the bottom left, perhaps the fan favorite, showing us that you can be young or old and be a pro gamer. Make some noise for Leenock. In the opposite side of the map, in the upper right, we have our Protoss player. Make some noise for Naniwa. Any predictions, Artosis?
You know, they both have been playing just so well here, but I'm going to give an edge to Naniwa. He has to win this best of 3. He gets that edge. On the other hand, Leenock has to win 4 games.
Yeah, that's a pretty tall order. Now the extractor is on the way, and we will be getting a spawning pool shortly after that. Naniwa has really shown us that his building placement is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
When he does these fast expand builds.
You know, and this starting map, Shakur's Plateau, I feel like this is really good for Naniwa. As you were pointing out before, Tasteless, he is a player that before every single battle will get into some nook or cranny. He will force field perfectly and just destroy battles. And this is definitely a map with a lot of areas that Naniwa can do that in.
Yeah, Naniwa, I think at this point in time, it's safe to say he has the best force fields in the world.
I think that is a fair assessment.
Also, I forgot to mention this when we started up the show. Just a little bit ago, guys, Leenock was trending worldwide on Twitter.
Yeah, great job.
That's actually, it's a great job, guys. Give yourself a round of applause.
The esports community is just too strong.
We are owning.
Well, right now we do have the Forge on the way as well as the Nexus. He did go Nexus first, but this map, it's a little bit easier to do that on. You can wall off that natural oh so easily. It only takes a few buildings to do. And Naniwa will do that if he's afraid of the Zerglings actually getting in.
The Forge now completes. And as you can see now, the probe has been chased away. The hatchery can finally start.
And, you know, the chasing of that probe buys Naniwa that extra time to get the cannon in and not have to overbuy buildings for his natural defense.
The Overlord's well placed on the map. He'll be able to spot if Naniwa decides to leave his base at all. Naniwa knows that these Overlords are out here. He can't really do anything about it just yet.
You know, I have to say, I think Naniwa is going to play very similarly to what we've seen from him. We're probably going to see him go up to 4 warp gates and a robotics. Now, whether he wants to get a warp prism or not, that will be the interesting part for me here. I am going to look and watch for that because this is definitely a map where you can do a lot of fancy moves, and we've already seen him do some of them. You know, force fielding off and targeting down the hatchery with Zealots and Sentries. You can force field that ramp. You can force field in drones. There's a lot of options. Oh my God. Leenock has removed the scouting probe and canceled the hatchery. He's going completely all in here with roaches.
This game will not be a long one, guys.
7 roaches on the way. Naniwa has just 1 cannon, and he's making a second Zealot. That is not going to be very useful. Zealots against roaches, not all that good.
Yeah, this is going to be ugly. He's going to need 2 to 3 cannons and a really good unit control. So right now, Leenock, we've seen him play actually fairly conservatively throughout here. And of course, Naniwa was in the audience. Oh my God, that's the sickest circling micro. He actually did not lose.
That is pretty sick. But, you know, these Zealots might end up seeing the roaches. The fact that he's going to see all these lings is going to make him wonder what's going on here. And, in fact, going to show the roaches as well. Naniwa should have seen those roaches. And, yes,
cannon time.
It is cannon time. At this point, all Naniwa has to do is stay alive. If those roaches cannot break his wall, then he should win this game.
All right, and note how he's placing the cannons farther back so the roaches can't hit them. Also making an additional pylon now. He's running up the ramp. He's going for the cannon here.
And, you know, these sentries are going to be just crucial. Even if he kills a building, those sentries can hold him off. More cannons are going to be finishing. A Stargate is being started as well, and Leenock's rush not doing well right now.
Naniwa is being very patient. 3 cannons are done. I don't know if he can get up there. And again, this is not a strategy that you just recover from.
Oh, Naniwa not doing force seals very quickly there, but does do them quickly enough, trapping 1 roach in, 4 cannons completing. It looks like Leenock is going to have to transition into an expansion because he is not going to kill Naniwa.
Yeah, Naniwa, talk about good crisis management.
Just beautifully
He had
done.
like under 10 seconds to assemble a response to that, and it was a very good response to that. Also making a Stargate here because Void Rays can just drive out the roaches. And he's just going to go ahead and give up the forge and give up the cybernetic score.
Now, the reason Naniwa continues to make buildings here is to keep the wall up. He is not sure what Leenock is doing right now. He has nothing out on the map scouting. It could be mass speedling for all he knows. So he has to throw up those buildings and play very safe from here. But he's going also into 6 gates and Void Rays. And after Leenock basically did no damage, just killed a few buildings off. So this attack that Naniwa is going to come out with should be too powerful for Leenock to stop.
He's hitting the gateway now. And I don't know, I mean, yeah, sure, he's destroying buildings, but when the Void Ray gets over here, he will be forced to leave.
And now seeing that Void Ray, will Leenock actually go for an Evolution Chamber? It'll be kind of funny if he does, because that's going to make him have even less units. As is, we do have the Cybernetics core starting again. That is one thing working in Leenock's favor. If Naniwa could just sit there and make Cybernetics core units, such as Sentries and Stalkers, he'd be much better off. But as is, he can really only create Zealots.
Okay, the Phoenix is now coming out. Leenock actually doing a pretty good job of catching up. 50 supply for Leenock, 61 now for Naniwa. So although Leenock took a massive risk and he is in a somewhat of a massive deficit, or he was in a massive deficit a little while ago, he is starting to catch up.
Leenock is droning as hard as he can, making some spores as well. Naniwa, on the other hand, just getting that +1, not really warping in a lot of units.
Going for the Queen. The Void Rays will be charged up. 2 more Queens come down to defend. The Spore Crawler almost finished underneath, and Overlord goes down. Got to be careful. Can't lose that Void Ray. Can't lose that Void Ray.
And doesn't lose that Void Ray. Well, he is defending quite well so far. Leenock has gotten up to 39 drones, but Naniwa has 51 probes. That is pretty huge.
Guys, I am so inspired by how good Naniwa is at this game right now.
Yeah.
It is actually just mind-boggling. He is just not making any mistakes anywhere.
And look at this army he's walking out with. That is a fearsome army indeed. You know, normally against an army like this, you're going to want to make some extra roaches, but of course, Roach is so terrible against the Void Rays. Oh, Leenock is so smart. He's making 5 spine crawlers. That is a good idea. Of course, spine crawlers amazing against sentries.
As you can see here, I think Naniwa may very well turn around once he sees this many spine crawlers. He might just say, okay, whatever. You can waste your drones on that. I won't attack you.
And it looks like he wants to go up and see exactly what's going on. Trying to pick off a Queen here, and that is the Queen with all the energy. Good choice by Naniwa. And he does take it down.
You know, he can actually snipe so much over here. The spine crawler is protected from the ground, but not from the air.
That is quite true. In fact, the Queen is the only thing in between those spine crawlers and destruction.
Nexus over here. He's continuing to expand. And now going for the Evolution Chamber. That way he cannot make more spore crawlers.
Also could get rid of upgrades if he was going for that right now. You know, Naniwa is just playing so perfectly. He's got a contain on Leenock, who's made all those spines. And look at this. Harassing even the hatchery. The Queen has to move back, but it's got to be careful because he can easily take this out.
He's not paying attention.
And tries to lure that Queen a little bit further forward. Trying to lure, trying to lure.
If he lures the layer, that may very well be GG.
And look at that, taking one of them out of there, says, all right, we'll grab this other queen. And there we go. He's going to go for this last queen as well. Naniwa with some great harassment here.
My God, Naniwa is actually a superhuman.
He is.
This is insane. If he cannot afford, Leenock cannot afford to lose the layer. If he loses the layer, it resets the tech tree, knocks him back into the Stone Age, and there's really no way to recover. Meanwhile, a huge army of stalkers coming up here to the front. The hatchery, it's getting weaker. It's getting weaker. Down to 200 HP.
Oh my God.
100 HP.
Hydras pop out and it goes down. But that's okay because Naniwa is killing him from both sides. Tasteless is going to blink into the main base with a lot of stalkers. Also has these phoenixes to help lift up a little bit. And GG, Naniwa absolutely demolishing Leenock there.
Naniwa.